Carolina, of course, you came up short tonight, but a lot of people, I think, were very impressed with your performance, your toughness, your grit. Talk about how you felt about how you were in there tonight.
I feel really good. I am a little bit sad and angry because I was so close to win this fight. Yeah, but I feel good, and it was good. It was a good fight. I do what I love, so it's okay.
After the fight, Joanna seemed to say she really wasn't that hurt from the right hand you landed, but I imagine you saw it a little bit differently. Did you think she was hurt, and did you think you were close to finishing the fight?
Yeah, I was so close. I know it.
And lastly, people see Joanna as a very dominant champion and wonder what it's going to take to beat her. Now that you've been in there with her for 5 rounds, what is it that makes her so tough, and what do you think it's going to take for someone to beat her?
I beat her next time. Rematch in Poland.
Carolina, fine performance. Does it mean a lot to you to have won a lot of new fans in the sport tonight?
Yes, I am part of something big, and this is something amazing. This energy from these people, it's something great. Yeah.
She has a style which is very hard for you because she works faster, she throws more. If you do go into number 2, what are you going to do differently against her? Because obviously you have the beating of her in some ways.
I don't know. Now I need a few days break. I back to training, and I want rematch in Poland. And next time I beat her, you will see.
Did you see her beaten in her eyes at some point during that fight?
I think she didn't expect that I am so tough.
You're tough and you're brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dobry wieczór, Pani Karolino. Tomek Moczernik, Super Express. Przede wszystkim gratulacje. Am I allowed to ask questions in Polish? Okay. Bardzo świetna walka. Pytanie takie. 20 000 tutaj oglądało kibiców w Nowym Jorku. Ile kibiców oglądało w Łodzi? To jest pierwsze pytanie. Drugie pytanie jest takie. Veni vidi vici. Przybyła Pani, zobaczyła Pani. Zabrakło niewiele, tak, do zwycięstwa. Czego właśnie zabrakło? Yeah, I can translate. First part of the question was, we know how many people watched the bout here in Madison Square Garden, about 20,000. I asked how many people supported Karolina in Łódź, her hometown in Poland. And the second part of the question was, Veni Vidi Vici, she came, she saw, and she nearly conquered. What was missing from the last part?
Nie mam pojęcia, ile osób oglądało mnie w Polsce, ale w Łodzi, ale wiem, że miałam ogromne wsparcie, wiem, że dużo osób mi kibicowało, trzymało za mnie kciuki i bardzo im za to dziękuję. Czego zabrakło? Nie wiem, przeanalizujemy to z moimi trenerami i na pewno do następnej walki wyjdę lepiej przygotowana i już nie popełnię takiego błędu, jaki popełniłam teraz.
Tak.
So the answer to the first question, she wasn't quite sure how many people watched her in Łódź, but she knows it was a lot of people, and she felt the support even while being here. And the second part, she doesn't really know what exactly happened, that she came close, but next time she's gonna, she treats it as a very valuable experience, and next time she'll perform better and she'll be better prepared.
Hi, Carolina. Matt Cole, Art Voice. Congratulations on the fight. Even though this will go down as a loss for you, it's a huge win for your career. I think you gained a lot of fans tonight. What do you see as, I know it's early, but what do you see as your next step? This division isn't necessarily the deepest in the company. Would you wait for a rematch? Would you pick a different opponent?
I don't know. Like I said before, I need a few days break. I back to training, I back stronger, and I can fight with everybody. I can fight with Joanna in Poland, I can fight with everybody from my division. Thank you very much. Good night.
What's up, everybody? The gate tonight, 20,427. It was 17.7 million. Performance of the night is Romero and Connor, and the fight of the night was Woodley and Thompson. Any questions? Kevin?
Dana, the first thing I wanted to ask you was the ridiculousness of this ban in New York. And you know what? Nobody died tonight. Nobody had a traumatic brain injury. Nobody had anything happen.
Right.
And I wonder, if that makes you look back at how ignorant these lawmakers were here in keeping MMA out of this state for 19 years.
It wasn't ignorant. It was dirty politics is what it was. Everybody knows the story. For those of you that don't, the Fertittas, my old partners, own the 4th largest gaming company in Nevada, and the Las Vegas Culinary Union is what kept us out of here, and Shelley Silver. So that's really why we weren't here. But on a lighter note, because of all the 8 years of dirty politics that went on, and I would like to thank the Las Vegas Culinary Union for spending their members' dues to help make this the biggest night ever in UFC history. Thank you, dummies.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you to follow up on that, even when they approved it, the state legislature approved it,
Right?
you had those comments that they were making that were way over the top about the injuries and all the stuff that would happen.
Where are they now?
Right, and that's what I'm asking you is like, do you think that, maybe finally MMA can get acceptance and not have to go through this type of stuff?
Yeah, well, as soon as the Fertittas were gone, they scattered like roaches on to the next one, some other way to mess with the Fertittas, and they're done with the UFC. So it was disgusting and whatever. But sitting here tonight, we broke every record in UFC history tonight. Every record every record. The only one I'm waiting on now is the Fox number. How did Fox Sports 1 do? And it would be really, really weird and make no sense if we didn't break that record too. So,
Dana,
turned out good for us.
Dana,
Yeah.
how was the first off? How was the pay-per-view numbers? How are they trending right now?
Very good.
You think you broke?
We did. We broke the record.
Okay. And so overall, kind of, what's your kind of thought of UFC 205? Kind of how the fighters looked, how Conor looked out there, and
Conor's special. Everybody's been saying, wait till he faces a wrestler. Wait till he faces a wrestler. He throws that left hand with no effort, but boy, when it touches people, they go. It's unbelievable.
a lot of confusion in the cage afterwards with the lack of the 2 belts. I know you guys ran.
Whoa. Just for the record. I'm not supposed to bring his belt. He's supposed to bring his belt, right? He's yelling at me because I don't have his belt. I'm like, no, you're supposed to bring your belt, and I give you the new belt.
Sure.
So we went back there, and Tyron Woodley gave us his belt. So
Has Conor given it back to Tyron Woodley?
huh? He got it back, yeah.
So
He let us borrow his belt.
what did you say to Conor in the cage? You after he got the belt, you went up to him and you said something to him. What did you say kind of at that point after you gave him that second belt?
I don't even remember.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
I'm with CNBC. A question I have for you. Some of these tickets priced for more than $18,000 today. Do you guys think you might be pricing out fans who do want to come see the show? Because this was a really big fight and the tickets did sell for a lot.
We definitely price fans out. There's no doubt that did happen. Not one of my favorite things to do, but basically there's this thing that happens right now. It's no different than, it's dynamic pricing. It's no different than, a plane ticket. When there's so much demand, the plane ticket goes up. That's what happened. yeah, I mean, the place was sold out. It was packed to the rafters. We broke the Madison Square Garden, record, which I don't think will ever be broken again. Jesus is going to have to fight the devil to break that record, man. I just don't see what does it, but yeah.
And then a follow-up question I had for that, like we said, MMA is returning after nearly a 20-year ban. So economically, what do you think UFC can bring to New York in the coming years?
It's what I've been saying since day one. I mean, if you look at, how many people were here from other countries in different parts of the United States, they're staying in hotels, they're eating in restaurants every night, they're shopping in the stores. The economic impact for the city of New York was outrageous, You guys done with me? No?
Obviously, a little bit of controversy with Wonder Boy and Woodley and how that played out. Well, not necessarily controversy, but confusion more than anything else.
It wasn't. I think what happened was they were really trying to make sure those scores were totaled right, and you don't want to mess that up. And even when we came back, you could tell Tyrone thought we were going to say, "Oops," Wonder Boy won, but it was a draw. And when you look at that fight, you could call that fight. I actually had it even going into the 5th round, but my opinion doesn't mean shit. So
I guess one place it does matter, though, is what happens next with those two guys.
You rematch them, man. I think that it was a draw, and the fight was ridiculous. It was the fight of the night. You do it again.
That leaves Damian Maia, I think, on the outside looking in. What would you do with him? Ask him if he wants to wait? Let him fight?
Damian Maia's right there, man. So, he'll get the next shot if he wants to fight somebody else or whatever. I don't know. And again, it's the night of the fight. I hate to make fights the fight of the night. I don't do it, but that one makes sense. I think it makes sense.
The other two big questions, of course, Conor. I guess we can't wait to talk to him and find out what he wants to do next. But what do you see? I mean, you guys had very differing opinions about the future of his career. You're saying he's got to. Well, you said that he needed to give up a belt. He's saying you're going to have to get an army together to take one of those belts away.
Yeah.
Where do you stand right now? I mean, with the star as bright as him, could he find a way to maybe do both these?
Listen, I've never dealt with anybody like this kid on so many different levels. Normally he walks out of the octagon and he goes, I want to fight this guy next. Nobody does that. Nobody has ever done that. Nobody's ever walked out of the octagon and told me they want to turn right around and fight again. He does. And who knows? I'm going to let him enjoy this night and enjoy it, and we'll talk business later.
Does that mean maybe you're softening your stance a little bit?
No.
And just last question, Khabib Nurmagomedov had an incredible performance tonight. He had some pretty strong words for Conor. I think he had a couple of words for you as well, maybe over there.
I didn't hear what he said.
Okay, well, what do you think? Where does he stand? I mean, does he deserve to fight
that guy was screaming at me in between every round. Give me that fucking belt, and yelling. I was yelling back to him, finish this fight first. How about you in 30 seconds you got to deal with him, and every round he's screaming at me, I get it. Understood. You want a title shot. I get it. We'll figure it out.
So do you have an idea? Because Tony Ferguson had an amazing performance just a week ago.
I agree.
Do you have an opinion on which guys?
It's a good problem to have.
Dana, I'm curious, have you had a chance to speak with Lorenzo since the fight ended tonight?
Lorenzo was texting me all night. Yeah,
Okay.
Frank was here tonight, and Lorenzo was texting me all night.
And can you share with us anything that he said to you?
He said, that was a majority draw. What are you guys doing?
And obviously, you guys have been through a lot together. What part of you wishes that he could have been here tonight with you to see the whole thing through? And
You know what? The thing is, I've told this story a million times. I was a mess when this whole deal went down. And then, this guy who's been my, close friend since high school looked at me and said, Dana, I'm done. Be happy for me. So he's in South Bend. He went to his son's football game today, Notre Dame, and he's doing what he wants to do now. No matter what happens from here, no matter what Ari and I do, no matter how big this thing gets, nobody from here on out throughout the history of this sport forever will have contributed more to this sport than the Fertittas have. It's easy to get into this sport now, right? We're breaking records at Madison Square Garden. The numbers are through the roof. Everything's crazy. They were doing this at a time where it didn't look good and it didn't look like the money was going to come back to them, yet they kept pumping money in. There will never be bigger contributors to this sport ever than the Fertitta brothers. So,
Dana, Wall Street Journal, two quick questions for you. One is...
Hey, where were you this week?
I was here.
We got no coverage from you guys at all.
There was an
You did?
interview with Dana White in the Wall Street Journal today.
I missed it. All right.
All right.
Hey, sorry. Go ahead.
All right. It was a good interview.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, first question is, did you have to pay a curfew fine tonight from the Garden?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And then
Is that what they normally do if you go too late?
well, usually with concerts, I don't know how it works with sports, but concerts it's 11 and it's 10,000 a minute.
Holy shit. I hope we don't have to pay that. Ouch. Yeah. Oh, God, I hope not.
And then the second thing is, in full sum, why was Conor perfect for this specific event in New York?
There's a lot of Irish here in this town, a lot of Irish history, and he wanted to fight here so bad. This was like a huge dream of his, and yeah, it's just he was made for this event. Plus, that flight from Ireland's way shorter than Vegas, you know. Hey,
Kenny Johnson, Ring TV. 2 questions. One, to top this fight, will y'all ever think about going to a stadium, go to Croke Park in Ireland, or go down to the south to Jerry World in Dallas and try to top the attendance record with a big card with maybe Conor and Ronda on it?
Yeah, we've thought about Dallas, Texas Stadium. We thought about Croke Park. We talked about that forever. Ari and I are going to Russia in the next couple of weeks. We're working on Russia. We're working on China. We're making some real big moves here in the next several months.
And the whole thing with Ronda, her showing up out the blue and not speaking, is that something that she's going to do coming up to the next fight?
That was, first of all, she was never supposed to speak, and neither was Amanda. My production guys screwed that thing up. And the thing that, it made Ronda look bad again, like she just stormed off and didn't do it. They were not supposed to do an interview. They were supposed to go up there, square off, and they're both supposed to walk away. So.
Why'd you grab her by the arm then?
Huh?
Why'd you grab her by the arm?
Because what I was doing, so they squared off, and then I was getting them to face forward, and I was waiting for somebody to bring Amanda's belt. You know how we do that? To put the belt so then you guys could take the pictures of them moving forward, and then I grab her, and I turn around, and Rogan's interviewing her, right? I was trying to get them to stand forward, and then somebody bring Amanda the belt. Hey, we're not perfect all the time. We actually, our team coming into this big event, we made a lot of mistakes at this event that I'm not happy about. Not stuff that you would notice, but I try to be perfect, but it didn't work out.
Is she gonna talk?
Huh?
Is she gonna talk?
Rhonda? Rhonda's been talking. She was on Ellen. She's doing Kimmel. She's doing all the talk shows. She gonna talk to you guys? I don't know. Huh? Yep.
Dana over here. What did you think of the Carolina and Joanna fight? Also, are you going to give Carolina her wish and give her that rematch in Poland in 2017?
Yeah, that fight was awesome. I mean, both those girls wanted that fight really bad. Carolina is a girl. Joanna wanted her here and wanted to fight her. And both girls had hematomas tonight. Joanna had a broken nose. And these two, it was a stylistic, technical dogfight. Man, it was awesome. Great fight. Rematch. Carolina wants the rematch real bad. Her guys have been all over me. We'll see what happens. I think we do Claudia Gadelha and Carolina, and see what happens. But again, I don't like making fights the night of the fight, so we'll see what happens. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Right over here.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Raquel Pennington's performance tonight against Miesha Tate, and thoughts on Miesha Tate retiring? Were you surprised by that?
Yeah. So Raquel has looked better and better and better every time she fights. She's looking really good. And no, I didn't see the Miesha Tate thing coming, but it makes sense. Miesha's been so tough and durable, and not a tough, durable one, but a tough, durable athlete. Been in this for so long, and I could just tell when I talked to her tonight. Her and I had a little bit of a thing tonight. She was refusing to go to the hospital, and I'm like, "You're going to the hospital?" She's like, "Fuck you! I don't work for you anymore." So yeah, I was like, "That's a good point, but." You need to go to the hospital. So she's upset, and she's very she's very emotional, but, you know, I care about Misha a lot, and I think she's going to do just fine in her life after fighting, you know. I said, listen, then I had to start begging. If you go to the hospital tonight, I'll get you another job doing something else, you know. And I can be your boss again. So she went, yeah. She has to go, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Dana over here. Yoel Romero, Michael Bisping, we saw there was a bit of an exchange during the broadcast, but is that set in stone?
I didn't see that, yeah, okay.
Is that, yeah, Michael.
But yeah, that's the fight that makes sense. I mean, he beat Chris Weidman tonight.
Is that UFC 206? Is that off the table? Is it any, are we looking at next?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know when, but yeah, that's the fight.
And one more question. It was an interesting moment when Bruce Buffer left the octagon, went out to double check the announcement and came in and sort of gave the wrong one. Do you know what exactly happened there? Yeah,
I think that the commission was trying to be correct. They were adding up the scores again. I don't know if somebody started to add and thought that it was wrong or whatever the deal was. They, they messed it up. They just wanted to make sure that they got that thing right, so we had to come in and do it again. It rarely ever happens in the UFC. It's happened one time, no big deal. Listen, it would have been a major, major screw up if it was the other way around. Like we had to say, oops, you didn't win, he won, and switch the belt. That would have been real bad. So it worked out all right. Yep. Done? Yeah? Hey. So leading up to this fight, Wednesday's press conference was awesome. The weigh-ins were one of the most incredible things I've ever been a part of. And tonight, I told the fighters yesterday, I've done everything I can do. All the bells and whistles, all the, stuff that I do is done. It's up to you guys. They went in and delivered. I know that, I don't have the best relationship with you guys sometimes and everything else, but you guys are such a huge part of tonight, and thank you for all that you do and the hard work that you put in over the years. Tonight was a massive win for the UFC, a huge win for the sport, and you're all a big part of it. And I just want to, I'm not always the nicest guy to you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Huh? Don't piss me off. I'm leaving now.
Taryn. All right, here. Can you just talk about, from your perspective, the whole post-fight, everything that went down there, them originally announcing you the winner and then going to a draw? What was just going through your mind while all that was unfolding?
It was a tough fight. I thought I won the fight. I thought, the fourth round, I believe when I almost had him finished, I thought they probably should have stopped the fight. I saw his eyes roll back. I was surprised they didn't stop it. It looks like in Eddie's fight, they stopped it a little bit sooner than mine. But, you keep fighting, you keep pushing forward. He's a tough guy. He recovered. I think I punched him one more time and woke him back up, and he revived with some energy. So just in general, it was just a back-and-forth fight. And when they said that, I looked over like, hell no, I'm not about to give my belt away because I did not lose this fight. So I just felt real confident I won the fight. And I was just kind of a little bummed, that it was a draw because I felt like I clearly won the fight.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's still a draw under record. Dana just said that he wants to do a rematch. He thinks that makes sense. Is that something that makes sense to you, just so you can, get the win without doubt?
Well, unlike the last fight when I won the belt and I got 20 seconds to think about it and everybody wanted to see who I'm fighting immediately next, I think I deserve this. Many of you guys didn't even pick me to win this fight. Many of the crowds was against me, so I'm going to talk to my management team and we're going to see what's next for me. I don't know if Mr. McGregor want to go for a third belt. It looked like he was talking a little noise in the back, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, finally, on the note of a third belt, Dana said that when he wanted his second in the cage, that you let them borrow it. Is that how it unfolded from your perspective, or what happened there? Was that?
Exactly, just like that.
You had no problem with it?
Tyron, decide. I was going to ask you about that, and how hard was for you to borrow your belt when he was so disrespectful and he said so many comments during the weekend. And we saw a video yesterday, you guys exchanging words and backstage the weigh-ins.
You know, I'm a professional at the end of the day, and you know, it's obvious that the majority of the crowd is here to see Conor McGregor. So he's built this mystique about himself that everybody wants to watch him fight and watch his antics and all those things like that. So it's silly for me to try to go out there and turn the crowd on my side when I know 99.9% of the people are here to either watch Conor win or lose. So I'm just focused. I really took myself out of that after the actual real weigh-in. It was really no words actually said to me besides what's up, and then it was some social media stuff. But when I was in the back about to do the weigh-ins, like the ceremonial weigh-ins, I was just focusing on the fight because just to be honest, if you want to get to me, you can get to me. Nobody. If I want to get to John Morgan, nobody in this room can stop me from getting to him, and that's just point blank. And I'm coming for you because I know you pick Wonder Boy.
Two questions. One, regarding the fight itself, you had a hard time tagging him at some points. He was really evasive. What particular ways did you adjust, especially in round 4, trying to get in a few extra punches, especially the heavy ones?
Who's ever had a good time hitting Wonder Boy?
No, everyone.
Who's ever hit him like I did and almost finished him in that manner? I did a great training camp. I had guys, Chris Bang, former Strikeforce, UFC veteran. He mimicked him to a T. I was so damn tired of seeing side kicks and crescent kicks and round the corner kicks. I was to the point where you saw I didn't get kicked one time in the head. I only got kicked in the leg a couple times. So I was overly prepared for that. I trained with Raymond Daniels. I trained with Sage Northcutt. I engrossed myself into his martial art because many people aren't even able to stop his first attack. So what do you do when you stop the first attack and you go to the second or third attack? So I put myself into that world, and I just felt like I had to be patient. I know the fans didn't appreciate it at times, but if you think about a 31-foot octagon, if I'm pushing him forward every single time, he can back up and counter-strike. But when I put myself against the octagon, I got 31 foot to drive his, I was going to say a curse word, drive his butt across the octagon and get the job done.
And finally, describe getting your belt back. Did Conor actually hand it to you, or did somebody have to?
I just want the drama, don't you?
Absolutely, yes.
The person that asked me to use the belt issued the belt back to me.
Fair enough.
I have not seen Conor since he won his fight.
Fair enough.
Tyrone, good evening. Congratulations.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. One of the things you did very well tonight was to, as you say, to be patient and counter with your right over his left, yeah?
Yeah.
A lot. And that right hook looked like it was going to knock him out,
Yeah.
in the second and third.
You didn't think he was out?
Maybe he was out, yeah. I thought you had a brilliant game plan. I wondered how much Duke Rufus had helped you in that process.
Duke Rufus helped a ton, not only just with his background in sport karate, his brother and his dad who grew up teaching him that art form, so he knew how to beat that style, but he also was open-minded to me bringing in other coaches. Like I brought in a national taekwondo, training partner. I brought in Raymond Daniels. I brought in all these different guys, and he could have been like, hey, you know what? I got this. I got the training partners. We got Eric Koch here. We got Anthony Pettis. These guys are more than sufficient to provide that look of Wonder Boy. But he was all about the task, all about winning the belt. So he really didn't, mentally, get the ego. So that's what I love about Duke. He don't sweat the technique. We just want the results.
I don't want to cause any drama, but just want to know what it would be like to knock Conor McGregor's head off. Obviously, you're a much bigger man. And just talk to us about what really has gone through your head, because it clearly has.
I mean, to be just straight up honest, Conor McGregor is a guy that fought at 145 ever in his life. I haven't weighed 145 since my sophomore year in high school. So if I beat him,
it would be like you bullying a boy.
I'm not gonna say that because he's tall, he has long arms, he has good timing, and when you got good timing and things like that, you can place good punches. But I'm 100% positive he's never been hit with the shots I'll hit him with. Stevie Wonder Boy is literally got my bid today because I hit him with some stuff and he recovered from it. I just don't think Conor understands the pressure I can put on him, the power I can put on him, and all the different attacks. So I think it's good for media, but in general, I mean, I don't know how I can win. If I beat him, everybody's going to say I was supposed to beat him. He was a former featherweight. If I lose to him, then obviously we know what's going to happen there.
But do you think the fight will happen?
I mean, if he wants to fight, I mean, we can sign it right now. I'm good on the fight. I mean, I just don't think it's a good idea for him to fight me.
Hey, T-Wood. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Question for you. A lot of people were concerned, well, not concerned necessarily, but thought that maybe you'd burnt out your arms trying to go for the choke with Steven. How did you feel after that, and how close did you think you were? Because that was quite a long time that you did try for it.
Well, the biceps was definitely burning, 100%. But he was, I had him in the choke. It was so deep, and I know I got a good guillotine choke, and I heard him kind of heaving, and like, you know, he couldn't breathe and it looked like he was panicking. So I'm like, oh, he's about to tap out. I'm going to just keep squeezing. Then my legs was sliding down his back because it was sweaty, so I tried to adjust my legs. And don't get me, Wonder Boy, I see you in the corner, but he doesn't have the largest head, so that baby popped out. And when he popped his head out, I was like, oh my God, I just was squeezing this choke for 45 to a minute. And he popped out and he's on top of me. So yeah, it did burn my arms out a little bit. It took maybe a minute or two in the 5th round for my arms to kind of loosen up again.
And quickly, you know, Dana had mentioned that he thought a rematch would be the next thing for you. Damian Maia is obviously in the mix as well. I'm curious who you would prefer to fight, Damian or Wonder Boy?
You know, I'm just leaving those things up for grabs, you know. Danny said he usually don't pick fights the night of the fight. And, you know, I'm just going to sit back, you know, go back to the drawing board, talk to my management team, see what's important. Obviously, this is sport, but it's also entertainment. If Conor McGregor wants to fight me, I think all you guys are going to want to see that fight. It's going to suck for Wonder Boy and Maia because those guys are going to feel like they deserve a shot, but maybe they can fight each other in the meantime. So we'll see, you know.
Thank you.
Y'all want to see that fight, me and Conor? How many of you guys want to see me and Conor fight? See, some of you guys don't think it's fair, do you?
A question for Tyron over here.
Where we at? All right. What's up, Aaron?
Just a couple questions for you. This has been an interesting journey since Atlanta, all the hate that you received, the criticism that you received. Do you feel fulfilled, even though you don't get the W? Is this sort of a shot back to the critics, or does getting the W really solidify that? Meaning, can you walk away, you know, saying that you proved everyone wrong, or did they rob that from you?
You know, I definitely feel like, you know, I never go out there to try to prove the critics wrong because there's so many of them, and they so fickle. Some of them say you terrible, and I can guarantee you if I go to my Twitter right now, oh, that was such an awesome fight, and it's the same people that, you know, was torturing me on social media. So with that said, I choose to spend time proving the people that train me right, my family right, my loved ones right. You know, I couldn't hear, but I'm pretty sure I probably got booed when I walked out there. You know, I got booed at the press conference. It's the first time ever. And just in general, I just don't want to take away from the moment, man. This was a historical moment. I had to really focus, man. This week was a little weird for me, I'm going to be honest with you. And I had to stay focused on the task at hand, going out there and fighting a very deserving and tough opponent. And, you know, I spent a lot of time with Wonder Boy, surprisingly. We was in the cars together, sitting next to each other. So I think, you know, I misread him on some things that I said in the past. So I actually owe him an apology. He's actually a stand-up guy. And, you know, I said some things about him that, you know, I kind of want to apologize for.
This year, the UFC has done a good job of taking its champions to their hometowns. Verdum in Curitiba, Miocic in Cleveland, Bisping in Manchester. Given all of this, will you try to convince them to take you to St. Louis so you can get that hero's welcome?
For sure. You know, I think about this. If you look at my history, you know, I fought Dong Young Kim in Asia. I fought Rory McDonald in Vancouver. You know, they were wanting to set up a bout with me and Hector Lombard in Australia. You know, so I fought everybody on their own turf, and never once have I had to go home to St. Louis and sleep in my own bed. So I would love to fight in St. Louis. It's a great venue. We've seen, you know, many, many times that, you know, the combat sport fans will show up and show out. And I just have a hard time believing it wouldn't sell out in less than, you know, 48 hours.
And then finally, quickly, is GSP still on your bucket list, or have you moved on from that?
Man, I'm just trying to go through this weight division. You know, there's still a lot of guys I haven't fought yet. You know, if George wants to come back, once again, it's part sport, part entertainment. If he steps up, he's going to trump. You know, when I was about to fight Robbie, they were talking about George fighting. And I had to be honest and say, hey, if he steps in, he's going to jump over me and get the title shot. So I think these athletes, will, they might not like it, but they'll have to understand it.
All right, guys, thank you.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.
John's like, don't hurt me.
Guys, we have Chris Weidman and Stephen Thompson who are going to be available together right now.
Welcome. Hey, Chris, I wanted to ask you, I asked Dana a similar thing. You know, it seems to me ridiculous that MMA had been banned in this state for so long and so much dirty politics kind of had gone on. And tonight, maybe you suffered the worst injury of anybody on the card. And yet, can you put in perspective sort of like, you know, how the politics were bad here? Because this night proved there's nothing wrong with MMA and that the sport should have been here many, many years ago.
Yeah, I'm still up here smiling, answering questions. The last couple of years have been crazy. You know, trying to get this legalized here, and every single time we went up to Albany or different places around New York, speaking to senators and assemblymen, you just get a lot of optimism out of them and saying it's going to pass, and it just never did. And then a couple people got arrested, and then things changed. So I think that's kind of the answer for that.
Quick question for you, Chris. How many stitches in your head?
Take it easy, buddy. I'm fine. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I probably broke the record. I know I beat Wonder Boy in something tonight. I definitely got him in stitches.
Question for Steve. Phenomenal performance tonight. So close. How heartbreaking is it, though, to have it in that way, that it was a draw?
You know what? It was better than what it was in the beginning. You know, having him, you know, winning the title. They came back and said it was a draw. I'd take it. I mean, it's not a win, obviously. So it's definitely disappointing. But hopefully we can do it again, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can get this this fight happening again. You know, ended up getting fight of the night. I know it was exciting. I know the fans loved it. So, yeah.
Walk us through that third round, because or the fourth round when he landed the punch. And then the guillotine. Kind of walk us through that, because you survived, which was incredible. But I mean, kind of walk us through what did you remember about that moment? How did you get through that?
You know, the punch, it really didn't. I was still coherent. Could still see. Got right back up to my feet. He ended up getting the guillotine. It was very tight right off the bat. Ended up defending it well. Got my arm in. Got my butt up in the air. I could feel him, you know, really struggling to try and get it. So I was like, you know what, you know, sit here for a second, try and work my arm, try and get my head out, see if he can burn his arms out. Ended up getting my head out, and you know, threw a few shots right after that, and then the bell rung. So in the beginning, it was very close. Yes.
Two quick ones, real quick. One, did you think you won?
You know what? I thought I pulled it out in the last round just by outpointing him. I know he definitely took the first round. You know, he took the first round. It was it. I mean, busted me up with a few elbows, a few good shots. I was a little hesitant during this fight. I knew, you know, he likes to explode in and throw that big right hand, hit me with a few jabs. So I knew how strong he was in the clinch position, which led me to be a little bit more hesitant closing the gap. And I shouldn't have done that, man. Should have gone out there and just let it all out.
And Dana said, obviously, it makes sense that you guys do it again. I mean, is that just kind of in your head right now that you're going to prepare for a rematch with Tyron Woodley?
Oh, yes. I think the fans and everybody were really excited. I think they were entertained, so definitely want to do that again.
Stephen, right over here. Right here, Stephen. Hey, first off, great performance tonight. I got to know, though, you know, seeing your close friend here, Chris Weidman, lose tonight the way he did that have any effect at all on the fight for you?
You know what? It was, man. I mean, at first, of course, I know when in the moment, I felt it. You know, my heart dropped. For something like that, it happens to such a good guy, good friend, man, and now family member. It hurt me, man. It hurt me deep. You know, but I knew I had a job that I had to do right after that, so I had to stay focused on it.
And, you know, getting, you know, that fourth round where you're in trouble, did you sort of grow tonight as far as being a fighter and overcoming that and, you know, surviving? I think you gained a lot of fans from that tonight by, you know, getting through it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, man, it was very close in the beginning, but I told myself, this is the title shot, man. You know, I'm never the type of guy to give up. Okay. In that fourth round, I was just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not tapping. If this guy's gonna, guillotine me, I'm gonna give this guy hell. But I ended up getting out. Obviously, his arms loosened up a little bit, and ended up popping my head out. But it was close in the beginning. But I told myself, there's no giving up here.
Question for Chris up here in the middle. Forgive me if I lost my voice on Thursday, so if I squeal, I apologize.
Sound good. I lost my voice. Oh, there it goes back.
When you first entered the arena, coming in and seeing the crowd, it looked like you paused for a second or two. Can you just talk a little bit about what was going through your mind at that time?
It was a dream come true. It was everything I imagined until I lost. But that walkout was truly special for me. Just all the dreams being realized. I've had so many ups and downs in the sport, and then so many times I thought this was going to get legalized, and I imagined fighting here in New York, and for it to finally happen, and to have a crowd like that and that type of support after traveling around the world and fighting everywhere else besides my home state, it was a dream come true walking out.
Question for Chris. Do you think that the eye poke changed the rhythm of the fight?
Honestly, I haven't gave any of that any thought at all. I know I definitely, as many people told me before the fight, don't get frustrated with any antics that might happen. I know my coaches told the ref and the commission before the fight about ice on the floor and putting too much water on him, and then they take time rubbing it off him, and it happened twice, and I got a little frustrated, even though I should have not got frustrated, but at the end of the day, now eye poke and the water on the floor, it's not something I'm focused on right now.
Chris, you were pretty outspoken in your criticism of Yoel and the problems he had with the failed drug test. Now it does sound like he is going to get the title shot, though. Now that you've been in there with him, he did pick up a win over you. Do you feel he's deserving of that title shot, or do you stay on kind of firm in your criticism that he doesn't deserve it?
Well, he just put a good performance against me. But the performance answer stuff, I was kind of with Bisbee. I started thinking about before this fight, these people who are failing PED tests. I just feel like you shouldn't even be fighting them anymore. But a lot of guys I fought in the past have failed for steroids. Almost a good majority of my last 6 fights. So I've been fighting these guys, and he was another guy who failed the drug test. I got to go out there and try to get a W.
I know this was such a big night for you, so for it to end the way it did, can you just describe what the emotion is like right now?
It's very tough night. This was not the way I imagined this going, but I still see the beauty in the little things that I got to experience. That walkout, the weigh-ins, every part of it. I felt the love, so it was nice.
Sure. Just quickly for Wonder Boy, definitely want you to get to the party. Listen, it sounds like Dana's leaning towards the rematch as well, but you do have Damian Maia that's already out there saying he deserves his shot. You had yours, and then, of course, you got Conor McGregor maybe creeping up in the background. He does have 2 titles already. Do you see scenarios in which, you would stand down for either one of those guys and say that they deserve it, or do you feel that you stand over them?
Yeah, it was a draw. I think we should do battle and just see who gets it. It was a tie, so let's break that tie. And after we do it again, I will give anybody their title shot, whoever deserves it next. I think I don't know if anybody would want to see that rematch or not, but I would love to do it again. Hopefully back in New York somewhere, and we'll see.
Got a quick one for Chris. Chris, did you get a chance to watch over here? Did you get a chance to watch Wonder Boy's fight, and how did you score it?
Yeah, I watched the fight, and I thought he won the fight. I thought he won 3 rounds without question. If you wanted to give him a 10-8 round, which I don't agree with, because he finished the fight with a minute on top, landing down punches. So to give a 10-8 round on that, I could see where you're coming from, but I think it might be a little bit of a stretch. But to give 3 rounds to Woodley didn't make sense to me at all. So I could understand possibly a 10-8, but I don't agree with it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Connor will be here in about 2 minutes, and Eddie will not be available, so Connor will be the last one that we have up here for you guys tonight, okay? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. believe she just went for precautionary head, but I'll double check.
I have the update for you there, Karen. You okay. Transported for precautionary head and face CAT scan. The results will be
Perfect, thank you. I was close, I said precautionary head.
That was good, John.
Which is which?
Connor, you promised this moment from the beginning. Finally, it's been achieved.
Can you see me right? Can you see me clear up here?
Nice. You promised this moment from the beginning, and of course, you had doubters all along the way. Now that you've achieved it, give us an idea of what the emotion is like.
Look, it feels great. It feels familiar. I saw it so clearly. I swear to God, I saw it so clearly, so consistently, until it's here in reality. So I've been saying this a long time. I'm very confident in my abilities and what I'm predicting I'm going to do, and I back it up. I back it up with work ethic. I back it up with hours upon hours of time and dedication. I never slip. I never take a second off this game. So I'm very, very satisfied, very grateful, very happy, but not surprised. You know what I mean? I knew it. I knew it was going to happen for me.
The fight tonight might have been your best performance yet on this run. I mean, did you see things playing out the way they did tonight with the left hand, landing so frequently and so easily?
I'm comfortable with that style opponent. Yeah, I don't know. I feel good. I feel like I'm only reaching me prime. I'm only 28, not long 28. So, I feel good.
You delivered on everything you promised, but you didn't deliver on the big announcement, I don't believe, that you promised us coming into this. Are you ready to make that?
No, look, there's a few bombshells I wanted to hit, but then it was like, well, will I do it? Will I don't do it? Well, we'll just, I have a few announcements. One announcement, I'm going to be a daddy early next year. So thank you. I'm crapping me jokes. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know what way to take it. It's gonna mess with my head because I don't want to be bringing a child into anything like this. I don't even know. Like, I don't want no little celebrity type shit. I hate all that. I don't want my family to be like that. So that's kind of a little thing in the back of my head. So I'm gonna just have this baby, take a little bit of time, and see what way I feel after that. And then that's it. They've got to come talk to me now because no one's come talk to me since the sale has happened. As a businessman, I've been approached as hello and that type of stuff. But I've earned something. Who owns the company now? There's people have shares in the company. Celebrities. Conan O'Brien owns the UFC nowadays. So where's my share? Where's my equity? If I'm the one that's bringing this, they've got to come talk to me now. That's all I know. I've got both belts, a chunk of money, a little family on the way. You want me to stick around? You want me to keep doing what I'm doing? Let's talk. But I want the ownership now. I want equal share. I want what I deserve, what I've earned. So, there's a little announcement for you.
It just lasted, Connor. I mean, everything that you promised. I said you hear the vision, as far as we knew, it stopped here with 2 belts, one on your shoulder. What's the vision now? Certainly get to enjoy tonight, but can you give us an idea? Maybe where you do see yourself.
Yeah, look, there's so many hurdles to get to that, so I'm not in no hurry no more. You know what I mean? Like I said, of a kid on the way. So I just want to see what happens with that, see how that makes me feel. You know what I mean? What way my mind will be then. So maybe the 3 will be next. Maybe the 3rd one will be next. Maybe. I mean, there's options. There always is many options after these events, so I'm happy with that. Options are always a good thing, but I'm running it for real now. So they've got to come talk to me.
Connor, congratulations to your left. Congratulations, of course, on the belt and obviously on the baby. I'm kind of curious. You know, you said take some time off. You know, you've been so active. There's 4 fights within 11 months. How much time do you want to take off? Do you want to have a good rest? Do you want to be able to enjoy the birth of your child? I mean,
look, I'm fresh. A few knocks and bruises here and there. Me right hand was banged up from the Diaz fight, and my left foot was banged up from the Diaz fight. So I was actually, this was out of action for the whole camp. That's where I developed that, putting the hand behind my back, because I was doing it in sparring, because sometimes I'd be sparring and then I'd jar it or I'd hit it and then it'd be swelling up in the middle of the rounds, and I just figured out ways to just fight around it. So like if the right hand was out of action, I'd bring in the right foot, or you know what I mean? When you go through these fights and these wars, something, you get knocks and bruises. One time something's good and then the next time it's not good. So you've got to I've got to tuck shots in me pocket for a while, but then I can take out some other shots. So if one limb is out of action, I've got many other limbs and I've got many other ways to attack, many styles. That's the beautiful thing about this game. You can fight in many ways, and I can fight in all ways. So that's why I'm able to keep coming and keep doing this, and that's why it didn't sweat me. But other than that, like, even to be honest, I was icing it up until today, but it's actually all right now. I mean, I don't know, like, I can take a smack on it, so I'm brand new. There's not a fucking scratch on me. I've not been wobbled back. You know what I mean? I'm for a 28-year-old on top of the game with all the belts, all the money, all the numbers. In a game like this, there's not a fucking thing wrong with me. So I can keep going all day, but I'm aware of my worth, and now I've got a family. Now I've got a kid on the way. So I'm coming for mine now if you want me back.
You said before the fight you wanted to celebrate 2 titles before we started talking about, you know, surrendering titles, doing all these things. Dana is steadfast saying, you know, he still wants you to give up a title. But do you think it's going to be hard for the UFC to do that now, considering the way you did put Eddie Alvarez the way you did, the way you put Aldo away the way you did? I mean, it does kind of seem like you have, you know, cemented yourself, depending, you know, that you deserve to defend both belts.
Look, they didn't even want to give it to me in the octagon. What was that about? What was that about? I was literally losing my head in there. I was thinking, if these don't have this second belt for me, and I'm like, I said, I want to raise up them both belts, climb up on that cage, raise them up, one on one shoulder, one on the other. And they didn't have the belts, and then I was in the cage, and they was like, did you not bring your own one? I was like, what? Get their brand new ones. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. You want to have them brand new ones sparkling when I arrive here. So I'm happy that they went and got one. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I heard that. So yeah, maybe that's a sign of things to come. What happened with that? That was a mad little one, was it? What happened with that? It was a draw. It was a good fight. Two solid competitors. Wonder Boy showed a lot of heart in there, and Tyrone strong with the overhand. Some good fights, Joanna, and the 2 Polish ladies. Gotta respect the the Polish representing their nation, and 2 women, 2 warriors going at it. Some great fights. Romero and Weidman, great fight. It was a good performance. I mean, what he was talking as well was, I mean, look, he's fought once in 8 years. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't fight too frequent for my liking. Like, for me to commit to something like that, I need to be solid proof that people are going to show up, and he's a consistent pull-out merchant. He had a good performance tonight. Fair play to him. We'll see where it goes, but I need to see active. I need to see activity. I need to see consistency. I need to see me. You know what I mean? If you want me to come and change your life, if you want me to come pick you, you better have some damn reasons for me to do that. So, we'll see how that goes.
Woodley said here he would fight you. He would take that.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he fucking would. They all would. So look, like I said, I've got a million other hurdles before I even consider any of this. Whoever runs this whole shit now has got to come to me and give me the real slice, because that's what I've earned. I've earned this big escape. biggest everything. I don't even know what the pay-per-views are. I know the pay-per-views are going to be big.
Connor, right here in the middle. You've been guilty, you said, that of not really stopping and smelling the roses and taking it all in during fight week. And you said that when you fought Chad Mendes. Did you get a chance to really take that in this week and enjoy this experience of fighting in New York?
Yeah, I was absolutely loving this week. This is some place, New York. Like, the city is buzzing, and the fight fans were like, I was treated like a king everywhere I went. And then the shopping is unbelievable. Like, you go in all the top shops, you can do damage in them boutiques. They're very expensive compared to like the regular shops. But I've been having fun. I've been waking up, training, going shopping, getting dressed up, taking pictures in the brand new clothes, and you know what I mean. I had a great week this week. The weight went well as well. It was handy making the weight, no problem. Making 155 was easy for me. Great time. I can't wait to come back. I'm happy that I got to give back to the fans that have been showing me love. I wanted to come out here and put on a performance for the people that have been showing me love, that have been literally sprinting the streets. They're sprinting block, following the cars to wherever I'm going next to get pictures and all. So the love that they were showing me, I'm happy to come out and show that love right back to them. So
You've now fought in the UFC at 155, 145, and 170. Is there a weight class that you feel most comfortable at now, kind of at your age and in your weight?
I feel good at all of them. I mean, I'm dominating them. I own the featherweight division. I'm at the dominating the 155 now. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm 170. I have no problem going to 170. I've been at 170. Obviously, he was against Nate. He was at 170 the second time, a real 170, but he's fought more at 155. But I have no problems. Like, that's I'm sizing them up all week, saying they're not on my level either. So we'll see. Like I said, there's hurdles, so we'll decide when we decide.
Connor,
Hey, Connor.
Can you say when the baby is due?
March, I think. About March, is it? May.
Is there any indication?
Is it?
May?
Sorry,
May or
I don't
March?
know. It's not May, is it?
Is it May? Okay. Is there any indication?
It was March. What the fuck? I wouldn't even. No, I don't. Look, I'm running from it, to be honest. I am crap on my jokes with the whole thing. I don't know what to be doing with myself.
Boy?
Sorry?
Do you know if it's a boy?
No, I don't know, Jack. I don't know nothing. I don't know. I'll figure that one out when that happens as well.
What you're saying about the UFC needing to talk to you, do you think there's any indication that they wouldn't talk to you?
I mean, look, I've been happy to just come and continue doing what I'm doing, continue on. I feel I've outworn the other one, the previous contract. Now it's time for this. Now it's time for the reals. You know what I mean? I know I'm the highest paid already, but when I'm looking at what they're taking in and what like that list that Lorenzo and that team compiled to show the new owners, that's like the gospel right there. Do you know what I mean? That's proof of what I bring. So you want me to come around, you want me to be around and stick around and help service that debt and and continue to push the company. Bring me on board for real, not just as this. You know, I need to be set for life with this. If you want me to be truly in on this, then I need to be all in on this proper as owner, or you know what I mean. I have an equity stake in the company, so that's what I'm looking for.
Connor, it sounds like impending fatherhood has made you more steadfast than ever in sort of chasing what you feel you're worth. Do you think it may also affect the length of time that you eventually fight for?
Look, 28's young, so we'll see. Like I said, fresh I am, not a bother on me. So I could go again. I honestly could go again, no problem. So I'm just gonna go chill for a bit, enjoy these 2 belts, have a couple of drinks with me fans, and that's it. I'm gonna bounce now. So I just want to say thanks everyone to the media. Always respect all the work you do. I appreciate it all the time, and thank you. I'll see you when I see you. Thanks so much.
Still with these, or did they give you a different one when you left? Please said he got his belt back. Connor, right here. Thanks, bud. Connor, right here. You going right here, Connor? Yeah, let me grab my phone from you, brother. Connor, thanks so much, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Connor. Congratulations.
I go to Newark.